steaks, kebabs, ribs, seafood, desserts. This summer, 8 of the best amateur barbecuers have cooked mouth-watering dishes at BBQ HQ and on location throughout Britain.
Boom!
Now, it's a final and just 4 competitors remain. Duncan.
I'm really confident I've got what it takes.
Simon.
They better watch out, because I want to win it.
Emma.
I'm in here for the long haul.
And Tony.
I've got the skills to win this.
Our judges, Adam Richman and Mark Blatchford, are looking for perfection.
The things I'm looking for in our BBQ Champ: originality, culinary and technical proficiency, and above all else, a real passion for barbecue.
As the finalists face 2 more tough challenges.
He's so far out of our comfort zone.
This week, they're fighting for a place in the grill-off to decide who will be crowned BBQ Champ 2015 and win £25,000.
The winner is...
Today's challenge is called Starring Rolls. You have to roll, stuff and tie any barbecue meat of your choice and then serve it with some wonderful side dishes.
Guys, this is technically the hardest challenge you've had to face so far. I want a perfectly cooked piece of meat and stuffing.
Everything has to come together. Make sure your filling complements the meat that it's with. Think of it as 3 separate items: the meat, the filling, and the side dish.
This is the final,
So the rules are different.
and one of you will leave the competition today, straight after the challenge here at BBQ HQ. Your 3 hours starts now!
The revelation about the swan going today really surprises me. I'm not going to have the option to kind of redeem myself if needed in a location challenge. It's got to be this or nothing.
It massively ramps up the pressure.
So right now, what I see are 4 people, not just with the ability, but also with the desire to make it further in this challenge and take that 1 step closer to £25,000.
Crucially, when the roulade is carved, it must hold its shape and have a swirl of stuffing running through the centre.
Today's fighting day. Today's the day that I have to pull out all the stops to stay in the competition. I am doing a loin of pork with bone in. This mixture is breadcrumbs, garlic, sage, and a little bit of bacon. Because, of course, everything goes better with bacon.
Pit mistress Emma got off to a rocky start, serving raw, then overcooked beef in the first 2 challenges. But she's proved her worth, cooking her way out of 2 grill-offs.
Winning BBQ Champ would be awesome. It would get me 1 step closer to my barbecue dream of running my own barbecue restaurant.
Hi, Emma.
Hello, my dear.
How are you?
What's
I'm
going
good. I'm not being rude, but I can't look at you because
No,
you
please
put me
what?
off and I got a lot to be doing.
He puts you off.
He puts me off.
What's he put you off?
Look at that face.
Look at that face.
This isn't the first woman that said this. How do I put you off? All right, so tell me a little bit about your starring role.
I'm using the bone-in loin pork.
Oh, love it.
And then I'm hoping to do some crackling shards.
Right.
So you get the height, the extra crisp.
Yeah.
On the smoker, it's really hard to get crackling on, so hence why we've got a really hot grill as well.
Go get him, Emma.
Cheers, Emma. Bye-bye.
Bye.
My dish is called Rootin' Tootin' Rabbit. I'm trying to keep it very English, so I'm using basic English herbs. I'm using parsley, rosemary, thyme, garlic. Rabbit dries out extremely quickly. You can turn it into a very dry meat in next to no time at all. So cooking this properly is crucial.
Farm owner Simon made the mistake of serving raw chicken in the first challenge, but by week 3 he turned it around, blowing the judges away with his peaches, salted caramel and smoked strawberries dessert.
If I won BBQ Champ, I'd love to do the Human Wombles cookbook, where I can show people how to build these barbecues, how to cook on them, and give them some recipes.
Hi, Simon. How you doing?
Yeah, all right.
Right, what's going on, man?
I've taken out the liver and the kidneys. I'm going to saute off some onions and some mushrooms.
Where is that going? Into the stuffing?
That's going into the stuffing. This will be laid out on a rack of bacon. I'm going to roll that up, tie it. I'm hoping that this and the larding with the bacon keeps that moist enough. Hopefully that's all the stuff that it needs. Thank you.
What did you think of the rabbit?
I'm not overly sure about the stuffing, if I'm honest. I felt that cooking the offal in with the onions and the herbs may have been a mistake, where you're gonna overcook that offal and dry it out a little bit.
If I do it wrong now, I might as well, you know, sit out the next couple of hours. Can you go away while I do it?
Tony wowed the judges with his beef ribs, but proved desserts aren't his forte when his choux pastry failed to rise.
If I win BBQ Champ, I want to go and do the barbecue trail through the deep south of America, tasting all that barbecue. That's my dream. I have lobster stuffed beef forrid with smoked bone marrow.
What kind of sauce?
Béarnaise sauce.
Okay.
And just some vegetables for some colour, and possibly a like a posh baked potato.
Gotcha.
Being in the grill-off last week really brought my mojo back. People have previously been in the grill-offs and they've tended to bounce right back with strong performances in the next challenge. So I'm hoping to try and, you know, capture that spirit and really knock this one out of the park.
In week 2, Duncan was crowned king of the kebabs, but he scraped his way into the final by surviving last week's grill-off.
If I won £25,000, I would love to expand my outdoor cooking area, because the more barbecues, the better. This is a stuffed turkey breast with creamed spinach and corn, potato rosti, and mushroom stuffed courgette flowers. What I've done here is I've taken the skin off the other breast that I'm not using. I'm going to give it a nice rub of salt and pepper, stick it between 2 baking sheets into the drum barbecue and crisp it up, hopefully, to like serve it almost as a shard, and gives that crunchy texture to go alongside the soft turkey breast. I call this turkey Tony.
I've got to cut it so that there's an even amount of meat going all the way around my lobster tail. So eventually that's going to be in there, so I just want to make sure that I cut it thinking about there, then that flaps out and then we'll roll back round. Right, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it.
Now you want the contrast of colours for when we cut into the roulade. Hopefully it's going to look like a mix between Swiss roll and a lollipop. This should take about 2 hours to cook. We're already at 350, which is where I want to be.
So your beef there, you're happy that you're going to get that cooked nice and evenly?
I've done the cut, which was the bit I was most scared of, but I'm now confident that my lobster tails will fit in there and roll it nicely, and there's an even round the edge.
Also a little concerned about his filling. He's got beautiful, beautiful lobster. So the thing is, though, no breadcrumbs to hold it together, though, with that filling. It's,
I mean, it is literally lobster.
Cooking the meat rolls evenly is only half the battle for our finalists. They must also master the art of tying their roulades so the roll doesn't collapse when it's carved.
I can tie. My dad was a butcher.
What kind of knot are you
It's
trying to
supposed
do?
to be a double slip knot. Done this loads last night. Practicing in my bedroom with a shoelace and a towel.
Did you ever think that you'd be here in the final?
Never. I didn't think I'd
Really?
make it through week 1.
You'd be
week
so
1 I thought...
confident, though.
I pretended.
Did you?
Yeah, you'll see it all fall apart now when I can't tie this. Right. There you
What
go.
about- There, you've done
There
it.
You go.
There you go. See?
Turn that round.
Well done.
Yeah, thank you. Oh no! What a nightmare. Let's start again.
Everyone's working with their head down, super chefy technique things happening. And the thing that makes me the happiest, they have really listened. They've listened to your input as a chef, and they listened to me, both of my experience with flavors and sampling dishes that they've tried to make before, and it's amazing.
Still to come on BBQ Champ, whose dish surprises Adam and Mark?
Ooh, Christmas came early.
And it's the end of the road for one of our finalists. With 1 hour left, our barbecuers are working flat out. They need to deliver perfect roulades as well as stunning side dishes to secure their chance of that £25,000 prize.
The roast is looking nice and crisp, so I'm happy with their appearance. Turkey's looking good. I've put an extra log on there. That's going to add more smoke and increase the temperature.
This is my apple sauce, pulling out all the stops. Going to make it look and taste better than sex.
I wanted to make it a creamy mustardy sauce, so I'm just going to keep adjusting as I go. I'm starting to get happy with that.
My marrow came out as I hoped it would, which is obviously better than I expected it would. Yeah, have a look at that. I'm going to have to put another one in, I think, because I really want to eat this.
His marrow looked amazing.
Amazing, mate.
I'm a little concerned about his filling. He's got beautiful, beautiful lobster.
I think if he took the approach that Emma did and sort of flattened it out a little bit more and maybe chopped up the lobster and mixed it with some herbs, he would have had a much greater guarantee of success.
I'm really happy with my crackling. I wanted to do two kinds. I wanted to do one on the smoker to prove that I can do it on the smoker, even though it's very hard to do that. And then one on the pan as well. Hello, my dear, how are you doing? Really well, go careful.
I know, I'm in barbecue dress.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't want you to go up and smoke.
Nor do I.
Get in some salt. There you go. Go careful, it's warm.
Oh my God, I think I love you.
That crunch, isn't it?
Oh, that's another level.
Emma, more than anyone else in this competition, has experienced the lowest lows and the highest highs. She has been at the dead bottom twice, and now she seems to be soaring. Did you see that little apple bowl she made for that sweet potato
cool.
They're so clever. And she's also made delicious, delicious pork crackling.
My favourite. I couldn't ask for more.
I am searing the outside of my beef just to give it a really nice finish, while not really affecting the temperature in the middle.
A number of the rosties I was making, I left them unattended for too long and they're burnt. It honestly could go either way at the minute.
It might be a little bit pink in the middle for some people, but this is how I would eat it.
You have 5 minutes left to go.
Sphericals.
2, 1, time's up! Well done!
Look at that. Each element of your dish, by itself, the flavors are very extreme. However, all of them together, you hit every taste, every texture, and it's arguably one of the prettiest plates I've seen this entire competition.
The rabbit is still beautiful and moist. I can taste all the ingredients in the stuffing. Offal maybe a little bit dry, I think you've done a brilliant job.
Oh, that's the rusty that's jammed in there,
No,
too?
that's the crispy turkey skin.
Ooh, Christmas came early. Between the mushroom gravy and the sort of corns, it doesn't look super attractive. The thing is, you ended up with something that's neither cream spinach nor cream corn. I think for me, the sauce, the turkey, and the stuffing together, beautiful. Yeah.
I think you've got a lot of great flavours going here. You know, that lemon's punching through, the pine nuts are beautifully toasted, and again, that gives that little bit of crunch. Look at this.
What do we have here in your cauldron?
In the cauldron, that's my applesauce.
Right.
Oh, so smart. I can't imagine the pork being cooked any better. I like that the herbs are the main thing that came forward, with garlic, with bacon. Those things are really, really strong together.
You know, that smokiness that you've got into your crackling is absolutely stunning. Sorry. Thank you.
The lobster is cooked really well. The thing is, texture-wise, especially once you put the sauce on, there's not so much a differential between the lobster and the steak.
Your veggies are cooked nicely. That's about all they are, really. They're sort of boiled vegetables.
The way I've been looking at it, it's not a matter of who necessarily did something wrong, but who was the least right. Emma, I have to say, just execution-wise of just the roulade, just the stuffed meat, just killed it.
Her crackling, you know, 2 types, you know, absolutely delicious.
All right, Duncan.
I really criticised him all as the presentation, which I thought was quite weak.
Yeah.
And the creamed corn and spinach just didn't work for me.
And come on, man, turkey crackling?
That
That
was
guy
good.
deserves a
That was
plaque
good. That
somewhere for that one. Simon.
It was beautifully presented and it really worked as a cohesive dish.
This is not a competitor that has a lot of technical proficiency, yet he's making each step count. Tony.
I thought it was a really great contemporary take on a surf and turf. You know, he had beautiful, smoky beef.
The lobster was perfectly cooked. That smoked bone marrow was outstanding. I would have wanted the lobster to really have been incorporated with maybe some nuts or some cheese to create some kind of texture differential with the steak.
Barbecuers, we're about to say goodbye to our first finalist. The judges have been agonising over this, but they've come to a decision.
The first person through to our location challenge is Emma.
Sorry.
The second person through is Simon.
Well done, mate.
The third and final person through is Tony. And unfortunately, Duncan, that means you are the 5th person to leave BBQ Champ. Simply put, on the day, your dish with a very, very tight field may have just fallen a hair short.
I've got to say I'm gutted, but at the same time I can't stop smiling. You know, I'm proud of that dish I made. I didn't go out on a low note, and I'm just happy to have had this experience. It's been incredible.
It's the second time I've been close to the chop. I need to really put it together.
Woo! I'm in the final 3. Who knew after 2 grill offs that I would be here?
I feel really sad for Duncan, but I made it through.
So Simon, Emma and Tony are through to the final location challenge of the series, which is fine dining barbecue style. But before that, Adam's in London, Soho, to see how executive chef Ben Tish does fine dining over coals.
Hi, new chef.
Adam, how you going, man?
What are you making?
Okay, so this is the Iberico pork foie gras burger. It's a bit of a signature dish.
It's like heaven and paradise on a sandwich. And a lot of people have actually gotten their hackles up about foie because of the way it's normally produced.
There's more ethically produced foie gras out there. There's no kind of force feeding.
It's like a natural process.
It's a natural process.
So it's a foie gras that you can enjoy again.
Indeed. So we're going to get these grilled.
Let's do it.
Cool. We cook them medium rare. Unusual for pork, but it's Iberico pork. It's more of a red meat than a kind of a white meat, and it's impeccable breeding, so we can cook it medium rare. And then another element to it, so we've got some beautiful aged manchego, which is sheep's milk cheese.
And remember, if you add lettuce to a foie gras Iberico burger, it makes it healthy.
Yeah.
Not really, but it should. Okay.
So, that's it, man. That's the Iberico pork and foie gras burgers.
I've been eating burgers professionally since 2008.
Yeah.
But never in my life tasted anything like this.
It's quite unique, isn't it?
You guys do everything here at the Embry Yard and Open Flame.
The lick of the smoke on everything. So we're kind of doing pineapples, we're doing peaches at the minute on there, doing cauliflower.
Would you maybe put a little something together and join me in the dining room?
An absolute pleasure.
There are a lot of restaurants you go to, they have a board with their specials. Now, they have specials, but right over there's a board that says, for spring, we're cooking over apple and silver birch charcoal.
Yeah.
One, like, quick tip in terms of pairing for home cooks.
Okay, so I'd say oak is great for meat and heavier fish, and I'd say things like sweet chestnut, apple, cherrywood, probably things with a less prominent flavour, so slightly more delicate things.
So if you want to cook good, know your wood. Everything's been smoky, everything's been delicious.
Cool,
Chef,
man.
thank you so much
Absolute
for everything.
pleasure. Thanks for coming along, appreciate it.
Coming up on BBQ Champ, the finalists are pushed to their limits to prepare a fine dining feast.
It is very nerve-wracking. I'm trying not to think about it.
Oh, kill me.
These eggs keep falling off.
We got a decision to make, Mark.
We're here in the stunning Surrey countryside for the last location challenge of the series. Here, the finalists have to produce fine dining on a barbecue.
Welcome to the Windmill Restaurant here in Surrey for your final location challenge, gourmet grilling. On every location challenge so far, you've been cooking in teams, but today, you're on your own. Each of you has to prepare a mind-blowing 3-course meal for 5 couples, all celebrating a very special occasion.
Now, some people may consider barbecue as the ugly duckling of the culinary world. I want you to take that ugly duckling and transform it into a beautiful swan.
At this stage of the competition, nothing can be left to chance. Deliberate, focused, clean flavors.
Your 2.5 hours starts now.
Good luck, guys.
Finish strong.
This is arguably the toughest challenge so far. We've done different dishes, different courses, but this time we've got to do all 3 in 2.5 hours, so it's going to be tough.
The finalists have designed their 3-course meal from this larder of ingredients.
My starter is hot smoked salmon with quail's egg. That's cooked inside a tiny little bit too much. So I reckon about $2.15 per egg. Lovely.
They may have 2.5 hours in total, but their starters have to be served after just 90 minutes.
The thing that I really need to focus on today is timings. That's going to be the biggest issue. For the starter, I have goat cheese wrapped in phyllo pastry with a homemade onion marmalade. It is a risk doing phyllo, but being told that you've only got a certain amount of ingredients to use, you kind of deal with what you've got left to deal with.
Simon's delicate seafood starter is a country mile away from what he's used to.
We've got some scallops and herb and lemon zest butter. I'm hoping to get a nice opaque scallop out of it. At the moment I've got some parsley, I've got a little bit of coriander. And do you know what? I don't know the name of that red one, but I put it in there for colour and it tastes lovely, so that's the way I roll.
I want to see fine dining, but it still has to be fine dining from a barbecue. I want to see smoke and char and things you can only do outside. Otherwise, we may as well be in the kitchen, right?
The 5 specially invited couples arrive as the finishing touches are being made to the starters.
Literally, the people that I'm serving are about a metre away. It is very nerve-wracking. I'm trying not to think about it.
I'm really nervous about plating up.
60 seconds left to go, finalists!
Oh, no.
These eggs keep falling off.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time to serve your starters.
The starter was, you'd get that in a Michelin star restaurant.
The salmon was moist, juicy, and the egg was just cooked to perfection.
The guests seem happy, but what do the judges think?
The salmon it's got a nice smokiness, and that velvety, beautiful egg yolk just complements that smoky, meaty salmon.
Those 4 bits of salmon roe on the side, they added salt, they added that fishiness. It really worked. I love the fact that I can actually taste a bit of the smoke in the phyllo, which I've never had before.
If I had a criticism, I would say it would be slightly simple in its presentation.
Flavor-wise, very, very, very successful. The scallops, I would have liked a better crust on the outside.
Yeah. Caviar, it sends out those little pops of salt, that little pops of flavour in your mouth, which again is a textural difference.
There's no break for the finalists, just 45 minutes and counting until the main courses have to be ready. Simon's main course is venison steak with a balsamic reduction and charred spring onions.
I'm going to cook the venison, hopefully get it to medium rare. I don't want to go hugely all out on the sides. You try and let the meat talk for itself.
I'm a little bit behind schedule now, so I'm going to have to get on. My main is quail with autumn vegetables. I'm going to sear them around the outside and then roast them on the other side, indirect heat. Pretty much it. They cook themselves, you know what I mean?
My main course is rack of lamb with rosemary, thyme, salt and pepper. These lamb dishes are going to look lovely. They're going to be nice and pink, nice and elegant, and should sit on the plate really nicely.
Quail is pretty much done. It might not be totally perfect, but, you know, who is?
Finalists, you have 5 minutes.
Cool, that's it, I'm done. That's it, I am done and done.
Okay, so what did you enjoy?
I love Tony's quail, delicious.
I had the venison. I really, really liked that. The flavours were really good.
The lamb flavor is there, but the presentation is kind of underwhelming.
It's still moist and tender. However, there's no pink left in it at all. It has been cooked almost all the way through.
That raw or is that smoked
No,
pink?
that's okay, that's okay, that's okay. It's a quail, it's not a chicken.
I don't think I'm going to eat that.
I'd be okay with that.
If I do try it, will I get sick or no? If I just take this little bit right here?
No, it's not. You won't get sick.
The meat is juicy, but very mealy. It doesn't like hold together. It doesn't have that succulence.
He has overcooked it, but not to a huge degree.
Flavor-wise, earthy, kind of funky notes from the mushroom, and then an even deeper kind of one from that beautifully smoked marrow.
It's the final push for our finalists.
Any kind of dessert is tricky on a barbecue, especially sponges. When I've done coffee and walnut cake before on the barbecue, it gives it that warm, smoky feeling. And when you've got that with the coffee as well, it just balances out nicely.
I'm not very comfortable with this fine dining. You don't see many farmers fine dining.
But he's hoping to impress doing strawberries with a twist.
So I'm hoping I can get the smoke into them and hope the limes and the sugar work their magic on them.
My dessert is my take on a blueberry cheesecake. This is the base. It is almonds, dates, salt and amaretto. Now these will go in the smoker for 15 minutes just to crisp up.
Oh my God, no.
Mint for garnish and a little bit of the citrus sugar to go over the top.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time's up!
I think my presentation will have let me down. I've done what I can do. That's it.
That's the hardest challenge we've faced so far. Glad that I planned as well as I did.
In my head, all the timings were perfect, and then these tiny little eggs came along and just ruined my day.
So it's very homespun, and I like that, but it's obviously not fine dining. Am I gonna say that it doesn't look delicious? No, I wanna stick that right in my face hole.
She's got a lightness to the sponge. I like the walnuts. It balances nicely against the sweetness of the caramel.
You get the flavor of coffee, but it's not overwhelming, but it's clearly coffee. I don't know what, if any, flavor was put in the custard.
I like the contrast of colours. I like the contrast of textures. And, you know, he's got sweet and sharp of the berries. And, you know, the chewy end to that dessert is really quite enjoyable.
The second it got to my mouth, sweet, and then smoked, bordering on the peatiness from like a really fruity scotch. Someone has to go before the grill off. We got a decision to make, Mark.
Yes, we do.
This has not been my favourite challenge.
Hopefully I've done enough. I need to convince myself of that, because at the moment I don't think that I've done enough.
It's all down to the gods and the judges now.
Back at Barbecue HQ the following morning, the judges are deliberating who's going through to the final grill-off and who's going home.
Emma, this is someone who's had more grill-offs than anyone else in the competition. She's been at the bottom and fought her way into the finals.
My favourite dish was her phyllo pastry parcel. Showed real confidence to try something new in a final of a cooking competition.
Great starter, great dessert, but overcooked lamb in the main and not enough elements in it to really make it a dish.
I don't want it to end. I love barbecue. Barbecue is my life.
Simon, his flavors are incredible.
He's really the one-fork wonder.
One-fork wonder.
His scallop dish was beautifully presented and beautifully cooked.
His main venison was a touch overcooked. His dessert was great, bringing back those wonderful smoked strawberries, but he needed another element to give contrast to those strawberries in the first place.
I don't want it to be me going out before the grill-off. I really hope I've done enough to stay in the competition.
Tony.
You know, he's been one of our top barbecuers the whole competition through.
Absolutely. Came out strong with a really, really delicious starter.
It was a real shame about his main course. The quail was undercooked and it was left whole.
I am running on empty. It's just fumes in there now.
There's pluses and minuses for all of them. No one had a perfect service. No one had a perfect 3 courses, but someone's got to go.
Simon, Tony, Emma, one of you is about to leave the competition right now.
The first person through to our final grill-off is Emma. The second person through to our final grill-off is Simon. Tony, since the beginning of this competition, literally with your very first dish, Mark and I considered you personally to be one of the front runners in this competition. You have not let us down.
I've had the best time. It's been amazing. Really, one of the most amazing experiences ever.
When my name was called out, my legs nearly buckled.
Who would have thought? Me in the final. Blown away.
After the break, who will emerge victorious?
The winner of BBQ Champ 2015 is...
Welcome back to BBQ Champ, the final.
Simon and Emma, welcome to the grill-off area for the final time this series. You'll both have 3 hours to create a barbecue feast using identical ingredients. There must be enough food to feed your friends and your family who've been invited to the final. The winner of the grill-off will walk away with the title BBQ Champ 2015 and that amazing £25,000.
The ingredients for this grill-off are Jacob's Ladder beef ribs, Chateaubriand, local herb-fed chicken, beautiful rainbow trout, rock oysters, English cock crab. And you must use each and every element that you see before you.
This has to be spectacular. I want to see beauty on a platter.
Your 3 hours starts now.
Let's not forget, Emma's an admin assistant and Simon's a farmer. These are ordinary people cooking extraordinary things extraordinarily well on a barbecue. Look, right now Emma is throwing her crabs right in the coal, cooking a dirty style.
It's just going to steam in its own juices.
She actually tasted victory right here in our grill-off kitchen, going dirty style cooking on the coals.
I'm going to do the trout on a cedar plank. It's a form of smoking. The planks have been soaked in water. They're put over above the heat, and the plank gently smoulders, giving the fish a smoky taste.
Emma is a barbecue combat veteran. Simon has been flying by the seat of his pants, and right when you think he's just going to improv, then all of a sudden he has a technique and a rule. And something tells me between his imagination, her competitiveness, somewhere in between, we're going to see a lot of delicious food made by two very talented people.
I don't want to do anything too much to it. I want the gorgeous flavour of that beef to come through. And there it goes.
I'm just trying to sear the edges off at the moment. Just try and get as much flavour as I can into it.
Look at Simon breaking down chicken like a butcher. It's beautiful.
I'm using the thighs and the wings. It's too easy for me to overcook the breast. There's too much riding on this.
Let's stick it straight onto the ambers. And without trying to burn myself. I've broken down my chickens. The last chicken I'm going to leave whole.
This rub's just going to pep up the flavour. Also add some colour.
So we have nearly an hour gone and two very different approaches. Simon broke his chicken down. Emma's keeping her bird together. His will cook faster, but hers has actually seen a little bit of love.
It's shaping up to be one exciting final.
Going for a hot barbecue sauce. We have got onions, we've got garlic, and we've had red chilies and aubergines getting smashed up in there.
I put in some turmeric, some curry powder, salt and pepper, and we're going to form them into balls and put them onto the skewers.
Simon's going in now with a tester in the pan there on his grill. You think in challenge 1 or challenge 2 he would have tested out what he was doing? It's brilliant to see.
Well, what's the one thing that you always have when you're at a barbecue with your family? Is burgers.
I'm excited to see our first beef burger on BBQ Champ. This is your final hour. 60 minutes to decide if you leave with 25,000 pounds or if you go home empty-handed.
I'm just testing the trout. I push the skewer in like that into the middle of the fillet, take it out, and if it feels warm, that's done.
I'm frying my sweet potato fries. I'm going to leave them to rest for a bit, cool down, and then I'm going to double fry them again so they're nice and crispy on the outside and soft in the middle.
30 minutes!
final half hour.
I think they're motivated, two very different approaches. I think that we have one competitor really building flavors, another competitor really a little bit ahead on both cooking temperature and time. So will his really pronounced flavors beat her cooking preparation? Time will only tell.
5 minutes, just 5 minutes left.
Guys, remember, it's about how you're going to present your dishes. It's worth £25,000.
Come on, my beauties, pop.
Everything's down to the wire now.
I have never worked this fast in your life.
He has the cough up, but there's no sauce. They look that they might be dry.
Come on, guys, push yourselves now. Last couple of minutes.
You have to get it on the plate. If it is not on the plate, we cannot judge it.
Unfortunately, my plating skills have still not got any better.
Freestyling till the end, that's the one. Just 5,
4, 3, 2, 1. End of grill off. Put him down. Walk away.
Well done, guys.
Time
Well
is
done.
up.
Brilliant job. Well done.
Please bring your food forward for judging. Thank you very, very much. Emma, Simon, ultimately, these two platters will determine who is BBQ Champ 2015 and who will leave with a £25,000 prize. Please go join your friends and family.
Hello, you.
How you doing? Come on, all of you.
Come on, try some food.
I love the color. I love the vibrance. It's super pretty.
You got a nice rare beef. You got a beautiful bronze chicken there. It looks great.
Let's get stuck in.
All right,
Oyster
man.
first. We have her chicken, we have some on the kebab, and we have some on the bone. Here, you want a leg or a wing? Oh no. It is still raw. Finally, our burger.
Her oysters were absolutely delicious. I think she's got a nice bit of smoke in there. They were still nice and juicy.
I love that the chicken is juicy. I love the color she achieved on it. Amazing smokiness throughout.
But I got to tell you, that crab just wasn't good.
And yeah, I don't think that there's anything less appealing. Let's move on to Simon. Would you like to try the oyster first?
Absolutely.
Okay, here you go.
Thank you very much.
Why don't I give you a slice of that beef?
Yes, please.
And chimichurri sauce.
Okay, let's go for the chicken.
Let's try the rainbow trout.
Koftas.
Absolutely. The chicken, I have to say, I got all the spice from his rub. I really like the white barbecue sauce and that bit of horseradishy punch to it. The
trout is perfectly cooked. It's delicious.
So supple.
The kofta.
It had nice flavor, but not even a sauce to help moisten it up. All right, we've done 4 other grill-off judgments, never one as important as this one. We really need to have a very good long think.
Yes, we do.
There's some trout.
Oh, Dad.
Lily, do you want some crab?
Really nice.
Thank you, mate.
I could eat this all day.
Simon and Emma. Only one of you can be crowned BBQ Champ 2015 and win that amazing £25,000.
This was, without question, the hardest decision we have made this entire series. The winner of BBQ Champ 2015 is... Simon. I believe this belongs to you, buddy.
What experience. What ride. Yes! Oh, I can't quite take it in at the moment. I really can't quite take it in.
I've had a wonderful experience. I've enjoyed every moment of it, believe it or not, even when I've been crying. I put my heart and soul onto every single plate, and I've loved it.
Well, that's it from BBQ Champ 2015. We hope that you've enjoyed it. Until next time, goodbye.